What is up, guys? Hopefully that sound got you a little bit going. Gonna be going live, getting ready. I feel excited, like always. Let me push out a few things. Start in about 30 seconds. And if you haven't done it already, you want to follow along. I'll share a link in chat too, so that way, as we're getting started, people can come on in. Alrighty. Starting in about 10 seconds. You guys ready for this? I'm always ready. Yeah? I think so. Well, let's dive in. What is up, guys? What's up, everybody? Hey, so in this specific section, we're kind of using, you've watched Lord of the Rings, right? One ring to rule them all. I mean, let's step back for a second. Let's look at the processes of it. One ring to rule them all. Basically, you have this ring. It's this ring of power, and you put it on, and you go invisible. And somehow this invisible ring becomes the most dynamic force that runs this big old kingdom. Mordor, right? Big old kingdom. What if we could kind of switch that, alter it a little bit into business? What if there was this one ring to rule them all, but with business? So, I want to show you this again, how, if you don't know how, like if you're just like, hey Cam, I watched some of your videos, they're cool. Gosh, you're excited for some weird reason, I don't know why, right? If you haven't got it yet, I'm going to show you in this video, again, the platform, but more importantly, exactly how to serve. I'm going to be utilizing the tools to serve a client. And a client that pays money, okay? I mean, you're talking about thousands of dollars. And if I can do it, anybody can. It's not like it's a secret. It's not like I'm like, oh my gosh, it's magical and I'm going to teach you how to make $42,000 in 10 seconds. We don't need false gurus here. Processes. Anything and everything leads up to processes. I'm just going to show you like how we do it. How literally you can use one platform, just one. You don't need 5 billion of them. Just one to rule any and all aspects in business. And if you're like, well, Cam, I don't know about this business thing. I've never done this business thing. I just don't know. What am I going to do, Cam? I just don't know. Well, I can tell you, you're already doing it. You just maybe you're misled or confused. And what I mean by that, have you ever made a cent, a penny? Have you ever made money at all? Probably, right? Unless you're like 4 or 3 or 8, whatever. Even my kid, my 4-year-old, has made money, has done something like clean the house, and I've paid him money, right? Or bought him a toy, or again, giving him money so he can go and use that money to go buy a toy, or whatever the case it is, right? You've made money, aka you've done business. Sorry, you did it. No matter how much you want to fight it. You are one part of a business. Either you're an entrepreneur, right? Either you're an employee and you're working for somebody else, or you're this big old business owner that's just like, I own everything. Regardless, you've made money, you've done business, you know how it works. And what I'm going to show you is that one ring to, in a sense, rule them all. Okay, and again, we'll be working on a special project today, and we'll be focusing on a few different things. Okay, so the first thing is we'll be leveraging the platform. As we're leveraging the platform, we're going to go through a website design so you can see how quick it is. Like, so freaking quick. It's not like I have to sit there for 4 hours trying to design shiz. No, it's going to be instant. And then transitioning that over to the workspace that we can use it. And then there's process automation. What I mean by process automation, there are operations that run a business, meaning something happens, there's a machine, and there's an output, meaning there's an input, there's some type of an organization that happens, and there's an output. That's called operations. We're going to even go over the operations of it. And not only that, We're going to go over like the whole thing. Website's going to be done. Social media content's going to be done. Marketing's going to be done. I'm telling you, all of the stuff within this live, we're going to be doing it all. All of it. And if you don't see the power of this, if you're like, I don't still see the power, let's put that ring on for a second. Make you go invisible for a second. It's okay. It's okay. Let's do that so that way you can go back to reality instead of that dopamine fix and you're just going through the phone. Stop and breathe for just a second. This is why. Like, let me be a little bit vulnerable with you, and let me explain kind of why it is important. Let's say I'm going to give you my what personally happened to me. I'm sure something like this could happen to you. So, once upon a time, this is like within the few years, right? Within a few years, I'll just put that instead of putting a time frame. Within a few years, I went from traveling the world, having special opportunities that if you saw any of these images or videos or whatnot, to having a private jet delivered to all of those things, to then losing it all, right? Losing it all because some dysfunctional individual tries to steal an attack. I'm going to call him that because I can. Why? It's because it's publicized. You can see it. You can go in. Anyways, a dysfunctional individual tries to sue me and tries to steal from me. They lose. They lose because of garbage, right? But in the result of that whole process of undergoing, it put the business to nothing. That's the vulnerability. So why I'm sharing that with you is at any time, whether you're employed by somebody, whether you're running your agency, whether you have a business, doesn't freaking matter. There can be a time where you lose it all. And if you lose it all, what do? How do you rebuild? How do you restructure? Right? What tools do you need? Oh my gosh, I need all of this crap. What do you need? Okay, well, I'm going to show you this tool. That's the vulnerability. Stuff like that happened to me. I'm sure it can happen to you if it hasn't already. Good for you, right? But now there's a solution that no matter what ever happens, you have a foundation. So in last lives, I went over 3 main pillars of a business. First pillar, your blueprint. Going over a blueprint. First pillar. Second pillar, right? Having the tools to be able to create. This way you can create anything within that blueprint. The third thing is the right foundation. GFunnel is your right foundation. I promise you this. You'll see why. You'll see why. I mean, we've gone through these attacks and we're still here. No matter if the name changes, it's still here. Doesn't matter, it's still here. The processes and systems are still here. They're not going anywhere and they work. That's a pretty dang good foundation. Okay, so that being said, without further ado, let's dive in. Let's get things rocking. So, first things first, with the dashboard, I'm going to show you just a few different updates, so this way you at least know, right, while you're in here. So, one of the things that we will be adding here, either on the side here, right, you can kind of see that on the side of me hovering that, either on the side here or up in here, right? We just want to make it easy to access. We will be adding the affiliate home screen where people could come into the home screen. They have their tracking information. They can see their affiliates. They can see, in a sense, all of the information. If they want to jump into referrals, they can jump in and they'll be able to see their different referrals coming in, okay? That's just one part of it. We're making that part even more. What I mean by even more, let me jump into the reoccurring sides. Somebody will be able to jump in right into their dashboard, okay? These are some examples so you can see kind of how it works. You'll be able to see the clicks. You'll be able to see who's signing up. You'll be able to see their referrals, right? What they're getting, the referral side. You'll be able to see your sales. You'll be able to see your revenue, all tracked from here. You can, of course, jump into your referrals at any time. You can, of course, jump into your payouts at any time. There's multiple different sources to be paid out. We're paying out through PayPal, through banks, through crypto wallet. So if you're like, I just don't want to be tracked in XYZ, I want to hide some stuff, hide some revenue. That's fine. We don't care. We just know that if value is served, value is delivered, period. Okay, so that we have crypto wallets and we have Venmo, so we can pay, of course, people out for anything. What you do is once this is created, and you can create it for free, right? that's the benefit of this. I would rush in, at least get a free account, because who knows? Maybe there's somebody that's like, I would use some of that software. It's kind of cool. Maybe you don't know. You might as well get paid for it. Just be honest. You might as well get paid for it. Okay, but anyways, these are the different channels that we're paying out. But this is an update. You jump in, you have your own dashboards, you have your own links, you have your own everything. So you can see signups, you can see clicks, you can see absolutely everything. Okay, that's in the partner program. We are doing live events, so we'll start doing live events. There's already live events there. Like if you're like, I don't know what to do. I'm lost. What do I do, Cam? I don't know. Okay, so we have some live events jumping in there. So you can jump in, you can attend. I think every Tuesday there's a live event. It's an affiliate marketing event. Every Tuesday at about 10 a.m. You can jump in 10 a.m. Central Time, I believe it is. You can jump in and you can, of course, attend it. We're going to be adding more, so the entire day is full always. Whether you attend them or not, it doesn't matter. The whole day is going to be full, meaning I want workshops every single hour of every single day on multiple different topics. So you can be in here and you can choose it based on what you're doing. And these will be free events. These are not going to be paid events. So it's going to be the most value in the entire world, absolutely for free. Okay. That being said, that's just the platform. Our platform's pretty cool. It's pretty cool even for free. If you jump in for free, we do have paid plans. Paid plans just give you more software. And it's just on a cheaper rate than you would go and buy the software yourself. That's how we make some money, right? That's how we do it. But that doesn't matter. Let's just say you're completely for free and everything's for free. Great, here's a starting point. So now in this live, what I'm going to be doing again, I'm going to be building out a system so you can see it. You can see it in like the function of the platform as it's moving. You can see it. So there's no like hidden magic or anything that I'm doing. I'm not doing anything magical. I'm just literally using the platform to create an outcome. And if I can do that, anyone can do that. You don't need all the knowledge in the world to be able to do it. Like, I'll show you, okay? I'll show you. So, first thing we want to do is, again, one of the 3 pillars is a blueprint. So, I always say, jump into your diagrams. Whether you have a free account or not, doesn't matter. You have diagrams. Click on your freaking diagrams, okay? Diagrams are going to pop up. Here's your diagrams, okay? The specific one that we're going to be working on as of today, let me pop it up for us. Let's jump into this one really quick. We're going to be working on this one specifically. It's a campaign launch is basically what it is. So campaign launch includes a website, does include some marketing, includes some operations, includes some fun stuff, okay? So we're going to be jumping into some fun stuff. This is in a sense what it is. Now, the individual shared with me, and let me just double check. Let me jump into my Facebook Messenger. The individual shared with me some new updates, some new processes, right? And those new processes, let me just really quickly rename this. Iron MAE. There we go. Some new operational processes. They shared with me these things. So we're going to implement them. We're going to help them out, okay? So one of the first things that we do is I come in and I build a diagram out just so I understand, okay, what is the process like, right? And this is basically what the process is like. So let me jump into the website overview, and I'm just going to show you so this way you can kind of see it. So website overview, so we have traffic coming in. Even though I did it on the other side, okay, I'll just do it right here. So we have traffic coming in, traffic comes into the home page. Okay, so now this is in a sense, the home screen. Home, okay? Now, this is a few things. What this website, in a sense, is a e-commerce website. And this e-commerce website has some custom designs to it. It's made for art, right? So it's an art-specific e-commerce website, okay? There's this. If I'm doing any type of e-commerce or any type of art, I have to display, meaning within this home page, right, we're going to also have some kind of gallery. Okay. I spelled it wrong. I did. There we go. Boom. Okay. Gallery. So we're going to have a few different pieces within here. Okay. And I'm just going to make this actually a little bit bigger so we understand that this is all encompassing. Okay. So we're going to have a few things. One of the ideas that we wanted to deliver was actually and I'll just write it right through here. Let me see if I can straighten this guy. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay, one of the things that we were doing within this is a kind of like a free plus shipping. Now, why are we doing a free plus shipping? Okay, a free plus shipping is very good for ebooks. It's very good for different samples. It's very good for a lot of different things. That being said, it's very good for art pieces as well, because people can say, ooh, I want this, it's free. Cool, you just pay for shipping. Oh, of course I would pay for shipping anyways. And they go and they get a cheaper product that could be great. A cheaper product that could be fantastic. A cheaper product that gives that first buy. And that's what you want. You want that foot in the door. You want that first buy. You want that first customer. Because if they're a customer, whether it's $1 customer, $2 customer, $3 customer, the likelihood of them becoming a $100 customer, a $1,000 customer, or a $10,000 customer, just like 1,000x, because your barrier to entry is so small. So in this case, we're doing free plus shipping. And what is that? Free plus shipping will match our campaign. So we have a campaign here, right? And we're going to match holidays. So the free plus shipping is going to be a templated offer that is, again, we're working with the art space. This one specifically in the art space. It's a free plus shipping offer that is focused specific in the holiday. Well, which holiday is coming up? If I had a little emoji, I'd click it and little skeletons and whatnot coming up. We have Halloween, right? Halloween's coming up. So that being said, the free plus shipping would be based on a holiday. Okay, and let's dive a little bit deeper. So if we know that, what can we predetermine? We can predetermine holidays. So each campaign can alter, this free plus shipping can alter based upon the holidays. Okay, so we're going to make this website dynamic. So we're going to have again, it's going to be home. We're going to use this guy as the dynamic. So dynamic, and you're going to see some craziness here. Some craziness that people aren't going to show you, aren't going to share with you or anything. Okay, there's a free plus shipping that is dynamic based upon the campaign per year, meaning that this specific link will change and change and change and change and change based on the holiday. It's going to change. Okay. The e-commerce is going to stay the same. The gallery is going to stay the same. Of course, things are going to be added here, right? But this is, in a sense, the page. So let's just say we start with this, okay? Simple example. What is the next step? So this is what my next step is. I jump in here. What I do is I click the Lovable app, Lovable AI, and I click it. Boom. Pops up Lovable. And I just explain what the website is. I want to create an e-commerce website that is doing this with art and metal and So I did that, and guess what the outcome was? I'll show you and share with you the outcome. Maybe. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Ours. Show more. I was looking at everybody else's. Here we go. This is the outcome. So now this is the outcome of it. Okay. Plug it in. You can see that I didn't do anything too, I didn't do anything too crazy. I copied what they already had. They already had a store. I copied it. And then I added a little bit more, and I says, this is what I want to create. And then sure enough, it created this in a sense of a template. Now, we're not done here. I mean, could we technically publish it? Could we technically make it live on here? Yes, but it's not future-proof. So what do you think that we did? What do you think? You're like, well, I don't know, Cameron. What would you do next? Well, we would then recreate this guy, right? So let me jump in here. We would recreate this within the platform. So let me jump in here. Okay, so let's just jump right into that platform. So how do we jump in the platform? So we recreated this into lead connector. So there's lead connector. So we click on lead connector. I'll just pull it up for you. Here is lead connector. So again, why do people subscribe to our systems? It's because we have all this cool freaking software for a lot lower cost. I mean, literally our pricing, it's actually increasing. It's still 97, but it's going to be increasing to 127, okay, because of all of the freaking awesome value. For a reason. I said that yesterday. If you weren't there, sorry. It's increasing. We're increasing the pricing. We're increasing the pricing so we can increase the commissions and increase the value and increase everything else. We're doing that. Sorry. That's what we're doing. I guess I'm not sorry. It's actually a very good thing because people are getting paid more. Okay. Now, what do? So we recreate this specific section, this specific system. Here we go. So let's do that. Here we go. So now we recreated it. We changed it just a little bit, so I'm going to show you what we've changed it to. This is, in a sense, their art. But now we changed it, in a sense, to their art. So now we're going to change a few things. So first off, right, my portfolio. This is, in a sense, a gallery. So we're going to be adapting and changing this. I need to redo that. Buttons. I need to just make sure these buttons are special. But I need to redo these guys. But we're doing a free plus shipping. So free plus shipping, what I'm going to be doing is we're going to be adding even a logo there. Okay, this is a dynamic logo. We're going to be adding it there. So let's dive right into the edit side. And let's get things rocking. So I'm going to copy this guy. I'm going to come in. I'm going to create 2 pages here. So I have 2 pages. I have 1 page. This is my edit page, right? So I have my edit page. I have this page, still edit page, but I'm going to use this one for some dynamics, okay? So that being said, I'm going to come into here. I'm going to go into settings, and I'm going to go down to, these guys. I'm going to go down to our custom values. Where's our custom values? Here we go. I'm going to add custom values. So first I'm going to create a folder. I'm going to call this website dynamics, okay? There's going to be a few different dynamics that I'm going to have to change, okay? And within here, okay, so let's just say we're here, okay? I jump in my folders. I'm going to jump into here. I'm going to create one. So the first thing that I'm going to do is free, so our free plus shipping. And I'll put link, right? Because I need to send them to a specific link, okay? And I'm just going to say domain.com. That's one of the things that I'm going to have to do. So I'm going to have to create some dynamics here based upon, we're going to create some operations that come in and change this guy. Okay. The next thing that I'm going to have to do is jump in and I'm going to change the image. So let me add this and I'll say free plus shipping image. And I'm just going to put domain, I'll put, let me just copy one really quick. Copy image link. We'll just do this really quick. Boom. Okay, and I'm going to put a few of them here. So I'm going to have a image and I'm going to have a URL to redirect them. Okay, why am I doing this? So let me kind of show you the operation of this. Okay, so we have this campaign that's running, right? So let's just say this is the build. We have these holiday campaigns that are running. So here, I'll just show you free plus shipping operation. I'll just say workflow. Now, this is an advanced workflow. I know this knowledge just from understanding processes. I mean, nothing too special. It's just, again, I'm like a child. I draw in squares. Square, square, square. I understand the process, then I can create them, okay? But what we know is this. We have 2 main variables, okay? This is what we know. I'm going to do the changes. We have 2 main variables that will be changing. So I'm just going to put 2 squares here. We know that the URL, and this is the URL page for checkout, will be changing, right? And then we know the image itself will be changing, okay? So we know that these guys are going to be changing. And then what else do we know? We know that there's going to be kind of a loop. And what that loop is we know, and I already did this on this page, we know that there's going to be this type of a loop. Okay, we know there's going to be kind of like a holiday loop of some sorts, okay? So we're going to say, okay, there's some type of a holiday loop. Well, What are the major holidays? So let's just say we don't know, okay? But I'll just do them for now. Halloween. Thank you. Autocorrect. So let me I'm just going to jump in and I'm going to ask, what are the major holidays? Question mark. So of course we have Christmas. Let's just do it like that. Holidays. And I'll just do it like this. I'll just put them in order. Christmas. Right, and I'll ask them which holidays do they want to build stuff for. But we'll just say Christmas. We'll say Easter. Right, jumping down, we have... What the freak is Eid la Fun? I don't know what Eid la Fun is. It's Muslims. I'll just say for the United States. We'll just say for the United States for now. Okay. Christmas is actually last, right? We would have New Year's. New Year's. We'd have maybe Martin Luther King Day. MLK. President's Day. Labor Day. Let me just ask really quick, which holidays did they want the most? Which holidays do you Here are federal holidays. And then let me just say these are for non-federal. And then I'm going to do a live video actually. Let's see if we can get them in. So if I want to do a live video, so let's say, again, I'm doing it live, so you see everything's live, right? Let me refresh this guy. Let's see if we can just get them in. Get them in while we're live. Okay, so I would come right down here. I could jump into explore more apps. And then I could just jump into our meeting, Google Meets. Okay, new meeting. Look, all of this I'm doing through GFunnel. Every little detail. Okay, I'm going to start an instant meeting. Here's our instant meeting. Why? Okay. Copy. I'm currently doing all right, I'm gonna move this. If they jump in, they jump in. They haven't been on for a little bit, but let's just see. If they do, great. Okay, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna dive back really quick. So we're going to then say, okay, what holidays do we want this to happen? Now, why is this important? Here's why. Let me kind of explain I know that we're doing Halloween. Let me explain kind of the processes here, okay? So we need to create first a time map. An operation that focuses on a time map. I know that sounds like crazy. I know it sounds like chaotic, right? But we need to create something that is like a calculator. Basically, when this holiday or this XYZ happens, you need to trigger this. And when this holiday happens, you need to trigger this. And when this holiday happens, you need to trigger this, right? We need to create that. So we're gonna come in really quick because these are the things that we need to adjust, okay? So we're going to jump back here. We're going to jump into automations. Inside of our automations, we already should have operations because this is what I typically do. System operations, and then I'm going to do start from scratch. Okay. So I'm just going to build this thing kind of from scratch. So you can see it, then I'm going to do a folder of it afterwards. Okay, so I'm going to just say free plus shipping. So that's what this is, free plus shipping. And I'll put dynamics. Okay, and then this one is going to have a specific category. So let's just say we'll just do Halloween for this one, just because we know that Halloween's doing it. We know that this plan is going to happen. So free plus shipping Halloween. I'll have it all organized. So now we're going to trigger this guy, and we're going to trigger this die as a custom date reminder, right? In this custom date reminder, we're going to say match on the year along. Oh, I still have to do... Let me make sure that's the right trigger. If not, I'm just going to come back to it. So first I'm going to come back to, we're going to have a trigger, right? So we're going to figure out what that trigger is based on the operation that we want to create. Do we want to create it as a time trigger that just triggers and activates it? Do we want to create a kind of a loop that's looping all of the different dates and automatically adding tags? So what are we going to do? So what I like to do is kind of build things backwards first. Okay, so what's going to happen here? We'll add a specific time frame, whether we're going to trigger it here or create a master campaign that triggers all the holidays. We're going to have some type of thing that enters the person, the data, anything in here. Okay, so we're going to have an operational trigger that enters, again, it just enters the specific piece here. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to say, okay, we're going to then trigger changes. We're going to trigger those changes inside of our custom fields. So we're going to come right here and we're going to do, custom values. And we're going to edit a specific custom value, and it will be this specific custom value link. Okay, current value is that. New link is, we'll just say Halloween domain. Halloween.com. Okay, so that's the first one. Just do that. Okay, copy, and then we'll name this one so this way we know. Okay, this one is the dynamic checkout link, and we'll just call this one again free plus shipping. Free plus shipping. Yep. Dynamic checkout link. Okay. There we go. We're going to copy this, duplicate this, copy. We're going to add it here, paste it here. Boom. Okay. And then we're going to do kind of the same thing, but a little bit different. We're going to do this. And we're just going to say image. Now what we can do, again, I'm going to put Halloween.com just for easy sake. So now we have something that triggers these, okay? The next thing that I would do is I would put kind of like a check. So I would say, okay, let's put a little weight here, right? Let's put a little wait step. That wait step could be 5 minutes. That wait step can be 10 minutes. That wait step can be whatever the case it is. But we want to check. We want to say, okay, let's put a wait here. And then we want to do some type of, we'll do this, if else. We want to do some type of, is the custom value this, right? Is it equal to Halloween.com? And we'll just say, did it update? And the answer is, we'll just put yes. And I'll bring it here. This one is for the image. We'll do the shipping link. Did the shipping link yes, and then we would say this is, right, this. Why am I doing that? Is I just want to check, is it, I'm just cross-checking it. Is it this? And if it's no, right, if it's no, I'll just put no. Okay, then I'll do it like this. So now we know, did the shipping link update? If the answer is yes, it did, then we know everything. Okay, now I can come here and I can paste this, and I can redo this. I can say, did the image, I need to change that, the wording. Did the image link update? Then I would come here, is, and then we'll just put the Halloween.com, right? Just for easy sake. So I'll do this. Did the checkout link update? And if it enters no, so look, there's some no steps. So no, it did not. Then we're going to say, okay, there's a notification here, and we'll just say send internal notification. We'll just do an email notification, right? Actually, I'll do an error. No, let me do a task first. So I'm going to notate it, and I'll put error occurred. Error occurred. And all I'm doing is, if it didn't work, I'm just saying, hey, there's an error, let's flag the thing. And if we can flag the thing, then we can fix it. So that way we're thinking in the future. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense, okay? We're just thinking in the future. If we can flag it, great, we flag the friggin' thing. And if we can flag the friggin' thing, then we can fix it. So we can say error occurred. So add note, error occurred. And I'd put the error occurred on this. Within workflow, and I would put details. So now we know this, and we say checkout link did not update. Fix. Okay, and then I can grab this link if I want, copy this link. There we go. Now there's a link there, and I'm actually going to just paste the text. There we go. So now there's a link there. Okay, I'm going to copy this. Copy. So that's a note that occurred. I'm going to also create a task, because I want to make sure that they're notified. So now I do a tasks. I would say this. Error occurred. So title, error occurred. Assign to them, do now. Right? There's an error occurred that now there's an issue. And I'll put error. And again, why I'm doing this is I'm doing this so I can notate that there's an actual error. So there's an actual error that happened. I can also come into here and now do a notification or internal notification. So internal notification, and I'll just do an email. I'm going to send that email from them. So from name, and I'll just put their name here. This is for internal purposes, right? Internal purposes for us. I might even put a webhook here so it automatically triggers into our operation. What I mean by that, again, you can go as advanced as you want, but what I mean by that is, let's say an error actually occurred. If an error actually occurred, then I can say, oh my gosh, there's an error occurred. Let's say we jump into their profile. Let's say this is their management profile. There's a task. Now we can automatically create a task in here and say, there's an error that occurred here. Go and freaking fix the thing before it causes more issues, right? And we can actually... like literally as a team detect every single error that ever happens. We can see that. We can have it automatically submitted into support if an error does happen. So instead of like, an error happened, what do I do next? It doesn't matter. Automatically submits that error into support so we can automatically fix that error from ever like realizing. Does that make sense? So you can integrate a lot of the softwares that you're doing into each other. So like GFunnel, again, we have all of these different softwares and you can integrate these into each other, right? Do you have to do it this way? No, you don't. You don't have to do this way whatsoever. You don't have to, right? I'm just showing you what we do. So now an error occurs. An error is going to pop up right in here. There's going to be a new request and that error is going to occur. Now we can come here and we can choose what teammate that we want on this specific profile. We can say, oh, we want these specific teammates to be notified if there's an error. Now, of course, internally she gets notified, I got an error. But how great is the support if that error occurred, right? Let's just say the error occurred. How great is the support to say, hey, look, we got it. We got it. We know an error occurred. We know we got you. We got you taken care of instantly that it happens. That's pretty freaking good support, right? But how do you do it? Because you can't be on top of everything. You can't be focused on everything. How you do it is through systems. Systems just like this. Okay. So that being said, we're just going to continue back, right? But this is the kind of stuff that we build. So we build a system like an operation that works. And then from there, we always put in the errors that could happen. Even if it's this is the most simplistic one. Oh my gosh, it triggered, right? But now, can we scale this? Yes, we can scale this for each and every holiday. We can scale this for everything. Like, we can always scale it, if that makes sense. We can always do it. Okay. Cool. Yeah, we got it. So let me add those really quick. For now, I'm just going to do it simple. So let me just jump in here. I actually don't want an email. Well, yeah, let's do an email. Copy. I'll just do this. Cancel. Let me add an email internal notification, and we'll just do an email internal notification. We'll just send it from them to custom user, and we'll just say admin@gfunnel.com. We'll send it to our admin piece, and we'll just say error occurred. And I'll just put it like that. So that way we know, pretty easy, right? Save, email from, Iron Maiden should be there. Email from info at Iron Maiden. Oops. .com. Okay, so now we know who's it from. We know the subject, error occurred. There we go. We can save it. Okay, so now let's save this guy. Basically saved. Now what we're going to do here, okay, I'm just going to do this to make it easy because most cases we're not running a lot of data. If we're running a lot of data, so let's say this is a lot of data, a lot of customers coming through this, I wouldn't build it this way. I've learned to not build it this way just because things break. But for now, we're just going to do this. This one, if a no error, like a step goes, I'm just going to bring it right to there. Okay. So now we know that it worked, right? From here, we can do our checks and balances and we can say, has this been active? And the answer is yes, it has. Makes sense? Yes. So I'll do another on and off switch, but I'll show you the on and off switch. Okay. So let's dive in the on and off switch really quick. So I'd come back here and I would jump into our custom values. Okay, and I would say, jump in the folders here, add new custom value, and I would probably do, this is the on and off switch, free plus shipping, and I would say status. Put that as pending. There we go. So now anytime it is pending, so it'll come through, it'll go into pending. So let me fix this now. Okay, so let's save this. It should be saved. Let me refresh this. So now we have an on and off switch. Now this on and off switch is a little bit more dynamic. What I mean by that is this. So this will come in, Okay, first thing I'll do is custom value. So update custom value. The custom value would be this one, and we'll actually put it in the pending status. Okay, so now we know. And then right here, what I'll do is I'll put this one, again, I'm just going to do this a little bit more just for protective purposes than normal. So it's from pending. This one will be updated. Okay. And then I'll edit this, the name of this one. And I'll just say website dynamics. So it's a website dynamics status. Okay. Now we know it's updated, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little wait here. So it doesn't quickly do it. I'm going to put that wait 5 days, just giving it a little bit of time, like a week prior. Wait, and then I'm going to actually copy this. Copy. Whoops. Let me try that again. Copy. I'm just going to paste this guy right here. Now I'm going to change this one to active. So now we have a few different variables within here, okay? But what we have is we have a setup here, okay? And all of the setup is a switch. It's a switch to automatically and dynamically update information, okay? Pretty easy. Okay, let's save that. Okay, now what we're gonna do, so now we have a template to work off of. Let me close that guy, let me close this guy. We have a template in a sense to work off of. So what we're gonna do is work off that specific freaking template. So here, let me do this. This is a campaign, should be in the campaign. And then let me move this in here. Whoops, back. Move to folder, campaign, move here. We're gonna create this, and we're gonna call this one free plus shipping. Okay, we're gonna move this guy right here. And then we're gonna kind of make this future-proof just a little bit. Okay, so we now have a campaign. We can now copy these based on any and all of the things that happen, right? So the next thing that we need to do is we need to create kind of a form. Okay, we need to create something that's like, okay, if we're going to update this, like what should the image be, and how should we deliver it? So this way we can actually follow up with the customer. We can say, hey, it's about that time to update your next campaign. You don't have it yet, right? We can then update that based on the same trigger. Does that make sense? So we can say, hey, I mean, we can even have that as that trigger as a form. They fill out the form and then it triggers everything. Does that make sense? So like this can technically, so I'll just show you. I'll just show you what I mean. So technically, we can have this as a form. So I could jump in and I can have a contact, and I could have it send to them. So I could have it like a site. I can have a form, right? So let's just say these are some forms. Get your free sample form, okay? Let's just create a folder, and we'll call it free plus shipping. Oops. Whoops. I'm gonna actually move this guy inside there. But what I can do is I can come into here, right? And I could say, let's add a form, okay? And let's just start from scratch. This form can be for the client. And now I can create my own newsletter from us and saying, hey, it's GFunnel, following up with you. We want to make sure that your campaign is updated. And there's a form that they just fill out and they update it. That's all we need to do. And that can trigger an entire automation of an entire campaign to get things going. And it's as if we checked in, right? It's like, oh, we just checked in with you. We want to update you on the campaign. We want to make sure that that campaign is fully updated for you and everything's amazing. Now the person can literally write it up, right? They get a newsletter follow-up for us. It's like, hey, GFunnel, you're doing your job, and we can fully automate that at the same exact time. All of those things at the same freaking time. That's kind of cool, right? Again, still all within you're using one app. We're going to be using the ads platform too to create ads for. We're going to be using projects to govern the backend. If we want to add AI, we can then add AI. So there's quite a few things that we can actually add to this to make sure it is up and rocking and running and doing its thing. Okay, so that being said, we're going to come here. Okay, email, we don't really need that. So we're going to do it like this. So let's just jump into here. I want to grab a single line. It's mostly going to be the image that will change. Do I want it like that? I think so. Yeah, I think so. So we're going to say upload here. And we can call this one campaign. Free plus shipping. Free plus shipping. So now what's going to end up happening is we're going to submit this, right? And say, upload this. So this person can then put their email in, upload it, and say, I want to upload this. I agree. This will be uploaded. So we'll put a little information within here so not too many people can do it. And we'll say, if it's the specific user, we'll update it, right? That's it. And then from there, we just determine which holidays. We're going to copy and paste those holidays. And then sure enough, this is fully dynamic. It's fully ready, right? That's one side, okay? Then we'll go and we'll plug into the operation side. So anytime she has a new project will come in here and she'll be able to see these new specific projects. That being said, I mean, I kind of went over it. Now it's just finalizing the details and completing it based off of information, right? We did that all within the GFunnel platform. All of it. Literally, I mean, you come in, there's literally everything for you. Everything that you need, all of your tools, all of your systems. If you're like, gosh, I have a note to write. I need to maybe create a note for one of my clients. There's a few ways of doing it. So first thing, you can come in here. You can, of course, write your personal notes. You can come into your organization. You can, of course, write a note based on the organization that you're managing. So let's say I'm managing GFunnel at the time. I can click on GFunnel. Let's say I click on GFunnel and I can say, you know what? GFunnel, I'm going to write a note. I write a post, I write a note, and I can see it, right? So you do that all within one platform. And then what's really cool is when you get people in, you also get paid for your foundation. So quite a few awesome things. That being said, hopefully this was informative. Hopefully enough information on here. If you haven't already done so, probably create a free GFunnel account and just start your affiliate systems. You might as well. Again, the affiliate systems that we have, it's upwards, your first sale is upwards of 80% reoccurring commission. 80%, it's crazy, right? Reoccurring commission. We're not talking about like, oh, one time good, bye. We're talking about reoccurring. You can build out your whole career, your whole future, and everything based on a platform. That being said, my name is Cameron Garlick. If you haven't already done so, reach out. If you're ready to truly channel your success, then create your free account within GFunnel. It's right here. If you have questions, always reach out. I'm here, and I can definitely help you out. That being said,